From the Fox 5 studios, this is the RebZone Sports Show.
Sponsored by Hennessy Haight, Help is Here, and by Flowing Tide Pub.
Bedford with just 3 to shoot. Step back. Got it! That was pretty from Jalen Bedford, the senior from Austin, Texas.
There's a lot of things that I think we are clicking on right now. I do feel that there's a chunk of, when you talk about playing and peaking at the right time going into your conference tournament, especially on the defensive side. I think there's a number of things that we've become reliable at, we've become better at throughout the year as conference has gone on.
I think we've been looking really good defensively. I don't think we had a problem with them at all tonight. I think it was just we're trying to get acclimated to other things without DJ for sure. But I think on defense we looked really good. So just keep rebounding the ball, keep helping, and play with a chip on our shoulder now. Like we're gonna come out and fight regardless. Like fouls or no fouls. Like we coming for sure.
Welcome into the RebZone. The Runnin Rebels stepped up last night without their starting point guard DJ Thomas against Colorado State, and despite the loss, Coach Kruger's team is back in practice, hungry for another win against San Jose State on Tuesday night on the road at 7 p.m. Coach, I'm fired up to get back on the road with you guys. Another 40-minute fight in the Mountain West. We obviously saw Bear Cherry's passion, his energy to jump back in the win column. What are the positives you're taking away from last night?
Kind of what I said there. You know, I was extremely proud of him. I was extremely. There's a level of excitement today, even coming off of a loss. That I mean, those guys fought and battled. You know, a lot of questions. You know, like I mean, a guy who's has the ball in his hands as much as DJ does. Not having the ball in his hands, how's it going to go? And obviously it wasn't a good offensive night for us. Colorado State's a very good half-court defensive team, and they did a really good job on us in the half-court. But like those guys just said, defensively we held them to one of their worst nights of the year for them offensively. So a lot of things to be encouraged and excited about in that regard. We just got to find some things that work offensively, find some things that'll get some good movement, get the shots we want, because I personally have a level of excitement and for the challenge of kind of now trying to figure out this next puzzle piece and how we're going to make it work going forward. Again, playing another really good team that plays extremely hard in San Jose, but again, there should be a level of kind of course they're sad, but at the same time there should be a level of excitement going into practice today to get ready for another challenge.
Yeah, taking a look at practice this week, Brooklyn Hicks told me no rest, no break for you guys during the bye week. The intensity, the prep, shorthanded without DJ Thomas. What did you like from your guys' preparation this week?
Just that, you know, there was a little bit of kind of pep in their step, just understanding that we got to figure this thing out. We got to figure out how we're going to do things offensively so we can get good shots and get you know, last handful of minutes if we're in tight game like last night. You know, usually that's where DJ is asked to make a play or get something going, and we kind of pieced that together a little bit and saw some things on film that we'll be able to talk about today, so that when we find ourselves in that spot next time, we can hopefully get better results.
All right, 4 conference games remaining. Let's take a look at the next 4 games for UNLV. 40-minute fight in the Mountain West doesn't get easier down the stretch of the regular season. We're packing our bags with the Runnin Rebels for a 7 p.m. tip-off in San Jose. Friday night will be a thriller at the Thomas & Mack, an 8 p.m. tip-off against the Wolfpack, and the Runnin Rebels wrap up the season against San Diego State and New Mexico in the pit on Friday, March 7th. Coach, 4 conference games remaining. Talk about the energy, the dedication, attention to detail you're seeing from your squad in these last 4 games of prep.
Yeah, got to be ready. 4 good opponents, 4 challenging nights. You know, of course, at San Jose, and then finishing at the pit in Albuquerque with Reno and San Diego State at home. Guys understand and know. You know, teams that we had a good one up in Reno. We've obviously played San Jose. San Diego State will be coming back for revenge, and then of course the unbelievable venue at the pit against a really good New Mexico team. But I think as much as anything, you know, this is kind of a 9-day stretch where we don't have a true traditional day off leading into a 2-day prep, and the guys have now, this will be the 3rd one for these guys this year, so they're a little familiar in that routine, and we're going to do our best to just make sure we're as ready as we can possibly be for the next one. Can't look ahead past that.
Yeah, quick turnaround for the Runnin Rebels, getting ready for a 7 p.m. tip-off in San Jose. But first, let's take a look back at UNLV's 40-minute fight against the Rams at the Thomas & Mack last night. The Runnin Rebels without their starting point guard, De'Don Thomas Jr., his first missed game ever at UNLV. Colorado State punches first, Jalen Crocker-Johnson rattles in the three. The Rams jump in front 8-2. Here comes Pop Njai, the freshman, bringing the energy for UNLV. Jalen Bedford finishes on the other end with the floater. The Rebs start heating up. Here's Bedford from the logo. UNLV fighting back. One huge play after another for the Runnin Rebels. UNLV runs into the locker room, trailing the Rams 27-26. Second half, Jalen Bedford is cruising. Back-to-back buckets for Bedford. The senior guard is in his bag. The Rebs steal the lead 37-36. Bear Cherry being the aggressor for UNLV. Bear moves through three defenders to the rim. Rebs back in front 49-48. Nick Clifford would go on to score 12 second half points, and the Rams run away with the victory, snapping UNLV's three-game win streak 61-53.
I think we're just being very aggressive these last few games. That's really been our problem, even at the beginning of the season. Like teams were talking about us, saying we're not physical and we don't rebound, so we just kind of play with a chip on our shoulder now. Like, we're gonna come out and fight regardless, like fouls or no fouls. Like, we coming for sure.
Well, I just think we just came out not scared or anything, but we just came out and first game without him. You know, he's a great player, and we just had to get our rhythm going. I think that's really it.
Two playmakers last night for UNLV, Jalen Bedford and Bear Cherry. Bedford in his bag last night, as I'd like to say, really stepping up, ball handling, 4 assists, the most he's had this season. What did you like about your team? First half, just really efficient, 57% from the field. Yeah,
I mean, our biggest concern going into the game was, going to be on the offensive side of the ball, or offensive side of the court. I'm sorry. Those shots, playing it with lineups that we haven't played with, and that was our biggest concern going in, knowing it wasn't a surprise. And Colorado State came out, and you got to give them credit because they kind of didn't allow us to get into a flow early. They got off to that really great start and that big lead that we clawed out of. But at the same time, guys kind of took a deep breath and made some plays for each other, shot the ball well, and really after that first 5 minutes did a really good job the last 35 minutes of just valuing the possessions and trying to get both offensive and defensive possessions to go the way and look the way that we wanted them to be.
Yeah, here's Brooklyn Hicks scoring back-to-back buckets before halftime. What did you think about him stepping up in the starting rotation last night?
Yeah, I thought, again, first time for him. So he did a lot of great things. Brooklyn brings a lot of energy. Had a great talk with him and Bedford about just how this needs to go going forward here for the foreseeable future, and both were excited about the challenge and the opportunity, and being able to keep Bedford in that role where he's had a lot of success, but also have Brooklyn come in, be a lot of energy and be a lot of passion and a lot of fight. I think now, again, having one under his belt, I think up in San Jose he'll even be more comfortable, which should do nothing but help us.
Yeah, excited to hear more from Hicks tonight on the RebZone. Well, the Mountain West tournament is right around the corner, tipping off on Wednesday, March 12th, and spring ball is also around the corner for UNLV football. Let's take a look at their 2025 schedule. UNLV football is getting ready to debut over 40 new players this spring as they gear up for the upcoming season. Hot off the press is their 2025 schedule. UNLV opens up the year on the road at Sam Houston. Rebel Nation, circle your calendars for UNLV's home opener at Allegiant Stadium. The Rebels will be hosting Big Ten opponent UCLA on September 6th. And the most anticipated matchup of the season, the Silver State rivalry against the Wolfpack, will be held in Reno on Saturday, November 29th. Barry Odom led UNLV to 2 straight Mountain West Championship games. Dan Mullen says he's ready to help the Rebels win their first Mountain West Championship and compete for a national title.
You know what? I mean, I'm pretty blessed. Football's been great to me in life. It's given me so much, and I'm just blessed to be a part of this game. I'm so excited to be out here. I think UNLV is a sleeping giant. I think, as you say, we're in the sports capital and entertainment capital of the world. You know what our goal is? I want to be the best show in town. And that's a tall order in this town. But I want everybody in this town to say, hey, you got to get to a UNLV game. You have to go experience the game day environment.
And a big shout out to the back-to-back state champs. Bishop Gorman dominated Mojave 71-59 on Friday night at the Cox Pavilion in the 5A state title game. Jet Washington put on a show in front of Coach Kruger and the Runnin Rebels coaching staff, leading Gorman with 21 points and grabbing 9 rebounds. There are several Bishop Gorman alums on UNLV's current roster, excited to see what local talent is headed to UNLV next season.
I let them know we still need his voice, even if you're not practicing or playing or whatever's going on. But I'm bringing it still. I usually bring it every day, so I'm just adding a little bit more to what I already do.
Tonight on the RebZone, we're catching up with the Energizer Bunny, Brooklyn Hicks, who brings the energy every single night for UNLV. Hear how this sophomore is ready to help his team win it all in the Mountain West tournament.
You're watching the RebZone Sports Show on Fox 5.
Sponsored by Hennessy Haight, Help is Here, and by Flowing Tide Pub.
Welcome back to the RebZone. The Runnin Rebels hit a bit of adversity during the bye week with starting point guard DJ Thomas sidelined with an upper body injury. Coach Kruger has preached about his depth at the guard position, and the Runnin Rebels were ready to step up without their PG last night against the Rams. Sophomore guard Brooklyn Hicks has put in the work this season. We go one-on-one with him after practice. Brooklyn, 5 conference games remaining, coming off a really good practice. What are you seeing from your guys right now?
Honestly, I'm just seeing consistency. We're just building off our wins we've had because we did go through that tough losing streak, so we know what we like. We kind of came in Monday thinking like, okay, Kruger's going to take it easy on us, and it was a complete opposite. So, but I think that was good for us. I think we're going to be really prepared for Saturday just because we didn't really have any set-at-home rest days, and we really got after it all week. Yeah,
DJ Thomas not practicing today with a shoulder injury. How are you able to keep up his energy, his leadership?
Absolutely. I let him know we still need his voice, even if you're not practicing or playing or whatever's going on. But I'm bringing it still. I usually bring it every day, so I'm just adding a little bit more to what I already do.
Let's talk about your growth. Yeah. You know, how do you feel more confident here at UNLV?
Absolutely. All this game is about experience and getting better each day. So just every practice, every game, playing or not, just learning, hearing from the coaches, listening to my teammates. So I get better every day.
Let's wrap it up with the Mountain West tournament right around the corner. You guys finishing strong on a 3-game win streak. Your second year in the Mountain West, what can you say about the talent in this league?
The talent's it's unpredictable. There's a lot of it. You never know where it's going to come, especially coming to the tournament. Like New Mexico came from a bottom seed last year, ended up winning it, so it's really anybody's game.
I like to wrap up these interviews with any advice you can give to high school hoopers looking to make the next step, looking to leave their hometown. What advice would you give them?
Biggest thing, you got to get better each day. That's kind of what I built my motto on, and that's what's got me here. 1% better each day, and then you'll get to where you want.
Brooklyn Hicks putting in the work all season long. Scored 13 points on the road against San Diego State. I call him the Energizer Bunny. He's brought a spark off the bench for you guys all season. What confidence do you have in Hicks?
Well, you just have confidence because there's a security that he kind of trusts how this is going to go. You know, he's kind of we kind of refer to him as one of the COVID kids because he was a part of that class that was more penalized than any other class because kids were given extra years, they were given this or that. So coming out of high school into the college game, his class and him specifically with our group was kind of put at the biggest disservice by kind of the NCAA and the waivers and what happened with everybody coming back from COVID. So, you know, to have his freshman year, his ups and downs, you know, there's just those trials and tribulations have kind of led for him to have another big step here as a sophomore. And I think when it's all said and done for Brooklyn Hicks, you're going to be able to look at just how much better he got, how he just got consistently and incrementally better throughout his 4 years. And he's going to end up having a great college career.
Yeah, I loved what he said to local high schoolers, get better every single day. And that's what we're seeing with Brooklyn Hicks. And no doubt he's going to be a huge help towards the end of the season. We're packing up our bags with the Runnin Rebels, headed to San Jose State for a 7 p.m. tip-off on Tuesday night against the Spartans. We'll hear more from Coach Kruger on bringing the fight to San Jose and taking down the Wolfpack on Friday night at the Thomas & Mack.
Doesn't matter what it takes, like we got to get to a 4-peat. You know, it hasn't been done, that doesn't matter, we just have to get there.
We're going one-on-one with UNLV senior forward Alyssa Brown, who tells me how hungry her team is to win their 4th straight Mountain West title.
You're watching the RebZone Sports Show on Fox 5.
Sponsored by Hennessy Haight, Help is Here, and by Flowing Tide Pub.
Welcome back to the RebZone. We were just chatting in the commercial break how great UNLV is, all their schools, all the success. We have our intern Wyatt in studio watching the RebZone tonight, getting ready for another fight on the road. Coach, coming off a really strong defensive performance against the Rams, what do you want to see from your guys in San Jose?
Well, same thing defensively. You know, we fouled twice late to kind of try to get the ball back. Colorado State made their free throws. You know, if we didn't do that, that would have been the 4th straight game under 60 points defensively, and that gives you a chance to win ball games. And that's what we're kind of doing right now. Like we mentioned earlier, we just got to kind of find something that clicks offensively with some rotations that we haven't had a lot of time with. But the defense has got to stay our foundation and our pillar, especially on the road.
Yeah, a guy that seems hungry to beat the Wolfpack is Bear Cherry. UNLV hosts the Wolfpack on Friday night for an 8 p.m. tip-off. I know the Thomas and Mack will be rocking on Friday night. What can you take away from this loss on the road? How hungry are your guys to get revenge?
Yeah, we had some really good moments in Reno. Of course, it's a rivalry game, close game, tie game late, and it's one of those games that we just kind of fell on the wrong side of. But I know guys will be ready for them. A lot of respect for Reno, for Coach Alford, how they play, what they do. Some really good players, a group that's played together a lot for the majority of their rotation. So again, just like every night, it'll be another great challenge.
Exciting week for the Runnin Rebels, ready to jump back in the win column. Speaking of the win column, the Lady Rebels are on a 6-game win streak, chasing their 4th Mountain West title. Tonight, we're catching up with the Lady Rebels, who played 2 home games at the Cox Pavilion this week. Another dominant season for the Lady Rebels on a 6-game win streak in Mountain West play. UNLV improves to 14-1 in conference play after defeating Colorado State on the road this weekend 69-65. Tonight on the RebZone, we're sitting down one-on-one with UNLV's senior Alyssa Brown, who has 3 years of March Madness experience under her belt and is ready to help her team win their 4th straight Mountain West championship. 4 years, it's your senior season. Just looking back at the 4 years and everything this team has accomplished, how proud are you?
I'm so proud of just the legacy that I got to be a part of at UNLV, start to finish. My freshman year, I mean, I came in here wide-eyed, honestly, and now, you know, being a veteran and being able to like help and, you know, relate to, you know, when we talk about runs in different games and be like, you know, I was there, like it's just honestly inspiring and just almost makes me emotional, but yeah.
On a 5-game win streak right now, you guys are rolling. How hungry are you for that 4th title?
Man, that's all we talked about, you know, especially in preseason. We had, you know, some freshmen come in, we had a transfer, and we just kept telling them, like, doesn't matter what it takes, like, we got to get to a 4-peat. You know, it hasn't been done, that doesn't matter, we just have to get there. So we're excited, and we have a couple games left, and we're just trying to solidify our regular season first, and then, you know, move on to the tournaments. I think we already started our preparation a little bit. You know, Lindy's brought us a really tough preseason schedule. You know, we played some big teams early. And, you know, me and Kiara, who have been here 3 years and have played in some of those games, we've been able to, you know, talk about it and stuff, but it's different than actually playing. And, you know, we played Oklahoma and U of A and Northwestern and, you know, other big teams, Baylor. So people who actually got to experience and see that physicality and that kind of playing style early, I think is going to prepare us.
Obviously, this is Las Vegas. We have the Aces. Women's basketball is on fire right now. Growing up, you know, who inspired you in your career?
Growing up, it was always my sisters. I have 2 older sisters, so for me, it was always watching them play. You know, followed their footsteps, you know, same middle school, same high school. So it was always just, you know, I wanted to be better than them and beat them and, you know, compete with their records. So for me, it was that. And then once I got to college, you know, we're so close with the Aces, you know, so watching them and following them, I think now that's where I kind of look at for my inspiration. It's like, you know, they are, you know, the next step for me. So I think that's where I get my inspiration from.
You're watching the RebZone Sports Show on Fox 5.
Sponsored by Hennessy Haight, Help is Here, and by Flowing Tide Pub.
Welcome back to the RebZone. Spring is here, and it is buzzing on the campus of UNLV with the Runnin Rebels, Lady Rebels, softball, baseball, and spring ball right around the corner. As we get ready to pack our bags with Coach Kruger to San Jose State this week, Kevin Bollinger shares the latest from UNLV Baseball's home opener.
It may be February, but it is baseball season. The pros have hit spring training, and the college baseball season is underway with meaningful games as UNLV had their home opener in a 4-game set against Cincinnati. Haley Dawson, who was fitted with a 3D robotic hand created at UNLV, threw out the first pitch as the Runnin Rebels opened up the home portion of their season against 25th-ranked Cincinnati. Carson Lane got the start for the Rebels, and he got the strikeout here, but a high pitch count doomed him, and UNLV had to go to the bullpen early. Cincinnati broke it open in the 6th. Corey Klingenbeck sits and spins and sends one over the wall in right field to make it 5-0 Bearcats. Then in the 7th, Cal Sefcik hits a laser to left. That leaves the yard. Not a lot of highlights for the Rebs on opening night as they fall 6-0.
I mean, that's a really good team. They're 25th in the country for a reason. But, you know, we just can't start off that way. Our starting pitcher's got to be better, especially our Friday guy. And obviously they brought 2 or 3 guys out of the pen that was just as good as the starter. So I tip my hat to them. We have to be better in 3 weeks for conference. We know that. With the schedule we're playing, there's going to be we really have to play well and get some breaks to you know, have a lot of success. But you know, our kids are learning, and it's going to be tough.
UNLV baseball jumped back in the win column on Saturday in a thrilling 5-4 victory against the Bearcats. Beautiful weather to enjoy more UNLV baseball games this week. A lot of games on tap this week for the Runnin Rebels and Lady Rebels. Speaking of jumping back in the win column, Coach, just want to quickly ask you about Bear Cherry. Just looking like a completely different player in conference play. His speed, his physicality. What do you like about Bear right now?
Well, I think everything Bear did in the summer and the fall prepared him for a long season. You know, it's a long year, and Bear's been incredibly durable, and a lot of that's just because of the work he put in and the trust he had to get ready. You know, anytime you transition from junior college or high school to the Division I level, there's going to be an adjustment period, but Bear knew he had to get as physically ready as he possibly could to be able to go every night, and he's done just that, and he's had a great junior year.
All right, we'll see you next Sunday on the RebZone. Thank you so much to Kevin Kruger. We'll see you next week.